Hello everyone, and welcome to The Watch. This is just a D&D campaign that I do with friends. It's a fun time, and now it's time for me to introduce you to those friends. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi. This week, we have ACS, Beckens, Northbound, and Blargh's not here, so we got Leafenstein instead. What's up?
That's me.
That's him. That's the dude. But how's everyone doing?
I'm okay.
I'm excited.
You're excited? Why are you so excited?
Because we're doing D&D.
Oh shit!
It's a fair reason. Who would like to recount what happened for us last time? It can be a group effort if you choose.
Not it.
Everybody's just silent like this is some sort of...
I'll tell you what happened.
He's been here the whole time.
Give it to us, Leaf.
No, I don't know it. Jack shit.
I mean, I wrote everything
So,
down, but it's in
I've
like
been lurking awesomely.
a ton of bullet
So
points. So
we basically helped a caravan in the beginning of the campaign that brought us to a proposition of actually joining what is known as the Watch. We studied there for, what was it, months? Years?
About a year.
About a year, yes. And so we finally ended up going on one last quest to actually become members of the Watch. We went to investigate, I believe it was an issue of thievery at a merchant's place, whatever, have you will.
Shop.
Yes, shop, with two P's and an E at the end.
Yes, exactly.
And in the end, we thwarted off a few of the thieves. Not even just thwarted, I suppose we downright murdered them. And along the way, we had a stalker who we let be. We turned in the stolen item at hand, found out it was a magical item, and I believe we brought it back to the Watch to have it looked at.
Indeed, you brought it to, what's your name? Arnold, who is the chief mage at Kendall Hall. The other thing that we should address, just for narrative's sake, the group, like all of us collectively, even me as a DM, completely forgot about their stalker, who is this strange dude in a cloak. We forgot about him, and we didn't address him at the end of the story. How we're resolving that? How we're resolving that is we're going to say that y'all guys let him go, just to mind his own business, and just kind of disregarded him altogether, and he just left. So we don't know what happened to him, but he left. So that's the narrative, the retconning we're doing. But that's all we need to retcon.
That's me.
See, as Wulfgang, from what I understand, I was just tired of him. I had enough of him. He can go. He can leave.
Exactly, and he just left. He peaced out. We don't know what happened to him, but maybe he'll show up one day again in the future. We don't know. But yeah, the first thing to note is at the end of the last one, you finally did get into the Watch. So it was a very regal affair where everyone got together in the big hall and everyone was cheering like, "Here's the new members, woo!" One new person we should introduce, however, is named Daegon. Now, Daegon, I don't quite remember how you got into the Watch, but you've been training alongside these guys pretty much the whole time. What was training for the Watch like for you?
It was pretty standard stuff for me. I've been trained to fight for a very long time now, so I mean, but there were some new things that I picked up on. Some things that
Is fighting your profession?
yes, it is.
Well, what was your past like? What led you to be an epic fighter?
Well, I was a child of 3, and now, without going into all the backstory, I basically tried to fight to get my home back, and that failed, and now owing a lot of money to people, I became a mercenary, and the debt was too big, and I seeked out more coin, and the Watch was a great place to find it.
You are not wrong. So you made it through your trials and tribulations. You went on some other quest with some other future keepers, and you all succeed in what you were doing, so you are also a member of the Watch. The one thing that we should start today with is we should start today with your special meeting. So each of you got introduced to the Watch. You are all, like, legit in it. But one thing you get to do as, like, a final, like, secret test is you get to meet Panthea, who is the leader of the Watch. Who would like to meet her first?
Oh, I would love to.
So, when you are called after your big to-do in the Great Hall, you are called by Lucas Hassel, and he says to come to Panthea's chambers, which is at the highest point of the Watch. Do you go anywhere else, or do you just go straight there?
Oh no, I almost power walk to the area. I'm more than excited.
Power walk right up the stairs. Lucas Hassel greets you, Wulfgang, right at the door, and you are greeted to. It's like kind of like a living room. There's like several tables around. There's some sofas. It's not like a bed chamber, but you can see through an open door at the end of the room. There is a bed chamber beyond, and a large window that looks upon the fields. You can even see Galena out in the distance. And Panthea is there. Now, you've seen her, and she's usually quite casual, but she seems very formal today. And she's just seated in her chair, but she rises when you get there, bows her head to you, and says, "Hello, Wulfgang. It's nice to meet you."
It is nice to meet you as well. I heard you beckon for my group, but I rushed here immediately as soon as I could.
And you know that this is actually just a personal invitation. She invites every new keeper one by one, so you're aware of this going in.
Ah, well.
So she says, how do you feel you've fared during your training?
I felt that I wasn't quite sure how I'd get along with being in an actual mercenary group with many other people, but I fare quite well, and I'm learning so many things, and that is the one lasting joy in my life is continuing to absorb knowledge as it's brought to me, and I learn about people, and all sorts of new things are opening up for me right now.
Oh, this is very good. What do you think is the reason that you came to us in the first place? What led you to join the Watch?
Well, if you want me to be quite and perfectly honest, I used to be part of a band of thieves, and I denounced that lifestyle. I want nothing to do with it. I don't wish to ruin other people's lives the way my family once did, and I feel that from my teachings it will also allow me to spread my master's teachings, and it will allow me to gain knowledge as I travel within the Watch.
Now, as you're standing there, you do notice that the several people around, you've also seen them. It's 4 heavily armed people. They're all just standing in various places or sitting at various chairs in the room, and they're all watching you. How do you feel about this?
I mean, there's a reason for my stutter and my nervous speech. I don't do very well in close groups of people normally. I'm very jittery at the moment, but partly from anxiety, but for the most part from excitement once again.
And now, you've spoken back and forth with her a little bit, and then she sits in silence for a while. Does that change your mood at all?
Admittedly, it adds to the anxiety. I am not one to be quiet myself, nor am I used to being around people who are so quiet. I am a constant. I am a sponge, if you will. I'm absorbent of all knowledge and take things in. So when somebody does not speak, I wonder if there's truly nothing left. I get nervous on the idea.
What do you think of me, Wulfgang?
I
She doesn't smile. She doesn't really show much emotion. She just seems curious. And this
As-
is a good time for you to also ask any questions you'd like to know about Panthea.
As much as I believe you, I suppose, to be a superior, I would like to imagine that I can also think of you and a lot of other people within the Watch as teachers. To eventually, I suppose, bring myself up to that point of teaching others, even if it's just within the Watch. And truthfully, I mean, I've seen you around. I know some things, but I feel like I would love to know more about really all of you, whether that be your exploits within the Watch, or whether I suppose you have anything planned for me, or any expectations. I'm not shy to criticism. But
As you've known, our expectations for Keepers of the Watch are to serve the people. As long as you think you can do that, and you've proven you can, then it should be a perfect fit for you. Are you happy to go to the Watch?
Oh, I am quite thoroughly enjoying helping out the people. Yes, of course.
So she turns to her right to a human man. He's really bulky in like full plate except for his helmet. And she nods to him. He puts down like the sword he was kind of like using like as a cane. He sets it against the wall, opens a armoire, and there's just it's filled to the brim with cloaks of all different colors. And you know that these are the cloaks that the Keepers of the Watch wear. What color would you like? And you can just pick. You don't even have to talk in character.
Oh, well.
That's up to you.
I think I'd like to go with like a royal purple, like a deep purple.
And they look around. It's not like they find one. It's not super royal purple, but it's still a nice shade of like violet. And the beefy man hands it to you. And once again, any questions that you have to address to Panthea, this is a good time now. Or you can just ask them of me, and I can have her respond to in character to you.
I don't think I really have any questions at the moment, personally.
That's fine. So, you say any goodbyes or thank yous that you have to say to her, and you pass on. Next up, it is Agilbert's turn. So you come up to Panthea's chambers whenever you're ready, and you greet her. How does it go? You see all these intimidating people just standing around the room.
Well, I'm kind of short of stature, so I kind of nervously step in. I'm just a new member, so I'm not entirely sure where I stand exactly, nor am I quite sure of what the purpose of this is.
Oh, do
I
not
assume
be
it's
shy,
some sort of
Agilbert.
assessment.
That's what she says as she steps in. She can almost like read your emotions. It's like, do not be shy. Please sit down. This is a place of comfort.
All right.
And you plop on the desk, and this is your turn to ask any questions of Panthea. Now remember, this is the leader of the Watch, so she's in charge of everything and everyone. You also notice that she's quite young. She's about like 26 years old, so she's not... It seems like she's very immature for such a position of high stature.
I see. Please tell me, Panthea, sort of a brief history on how you came to be the leader of the Watch. I notice you are quite young, considering you are the person in charge here, if you don't mind me asking.
As you know, our history has been troubled as of late. There used to be a former matriarch before me, Matriarch Feronia. Because of our rivals who do not like what we do here at the Watch, they decided to assassinate her. I took over in her stead, and I hope that I've been doing a good job. I do what I can. And before you can even say anything, the same dude that you saw in North Scene, who had the big old sword, he's like, Matriarch, don't even worry. You're doing fine. And she seems almost kind of shy and nods at him while turning back to you.
Well, I'm sure the Watch is in good hands. I also wanted to ask, now that we are full-fledged recruits and no longer just people in training. What do you have planned for us yet?
As you know, you've been training for a long time to serve the people of Bohemia, and that's what we'll do. You will receive a quest from Lucas Hassel, who guided you here, and you will do as you are commanded. Of course, you are not loyal to any of us. You have your full freedom, so if you ever choose to leave or choose a quest is not to your liking, you may leave. But that is your choice. That is your freedom.
All right.
And if you got no other questions, then you can pick yourself out a sick or cloak.
Okay. I think that is it for my questions. I think I will go with as kind of the darkest green I can find cloak.
So they look around in their, like, in the bottom drawer because they have all the human and, like, taller cloaks up on the rack. But they find a short one that suit your stature, and they hand it to you. It's handed to you by the very, like, scary... He looks like an elf, but not quite. He has grayish skin, and might be a little intimidating if you've never seen anyone like this before. But he doesn't hand it to you with a smile, but he hands it to you cordially.
Thank you. Does it have pockets?
It can have pockets if you'd like it to. It is just a cloak. And P.S. When you get your cloaks, please put them in your inventory just so we remember what color they are. Let's see. I think it's Bree's turn. If Bree is here. Bree, are you here? Are you still with us? Oh no. Oh, Bree.
Oh.
I think Bree I think
Bree's
she's
dead.
busy. Yes, she is. She's lost into time and space. It is fine. Yeah, you can hear us, but we can't hear you. Try restarting Discord. Maybe that'll help. Instead,
The whole Discord.
all of the Discord. But yeah, instead, Daegon, I think it's your turn.
So I walk in there, I take the scenery. Is it like a big or a small room?
It's kind of neither. It's a nice, solid, medium-sized room. Enough
Okay.
for like as said, some armoires, several sofas, several tables. Enough to comfortably fit all of the people who are here.
Okay. It's like, not really a question, but it was more of just like statements. It's like, I barely know who you are, but you are appointed the matriarch for a reason, so I trust your judgment.
I'm glad you
But-
trust me.
But for being someone so young, just as I am, not everything's going to go well, so
I have learned over time, and I understand that while we may be similar, we all have different travels, and we all have different tribulations. I have met those, and soon you will meet your own.
I hope that everything goes well
I
during
have
your
a
time
special
as matriarch.
I have a special question for you, Daegon.
Please ask.
I have heard you have involvement in your past with Immemorium, a guild that we are not quite friendly with. Could you tell me about your involvement with them?
My older brother and sister, when we wanted to take back our home that we were banished from, we hired different mercenaries and bandits, those who were willing to fight with us. Some of them were part of that guild and betrayed us. They killed my brother and they stole my sister. She's probably now a slave and sold off somewhere, but when I find them, I want my sister back. I will do anything to find her.
It is to be remembered, however, that you do have a commitment to the Watch, and that comes before any involvement with the Immemorium. Is that understood?
understood.
And pick out a sick cloak, nerd.
Give me like a dirty green.
And that's pretty easy to find. Like, they don't have the most miraculous colors or anything, but they find a nice green cloak, and it's all yours.
Sick.
My friend Beckens, are you alive?
You want to check the actual Discord, Chris?
Oh, it's something. Oh, she pooped. Ah, shit. We'll figure out later. But yeah, all of you end up meeting Panthea eventually. And it is... What are your thoughts as you spend the rest of your day having met the leader of the Watch?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And like it can be assumed that you guys like talk to each other about like your personal meetings.
Because of what I've seen. Just how quickly bad things can go. For someone as old as my sister, I'm worried that someone that young has such responsibility.
I truly don't assume much about that because I'm fairly young myself, and I like to believe there is potential, but I do wonder with the assassination of the former head. I do think that I wonder, I should say, if the threat was actually handled.
Ah, she's alive. I think.
Sorry.
There you go. That's fine. That's on my end. See, Bree was running up. She's so excited to meet Panthea, and then she just tripped and fell and just toppled down the stairs. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm fine, man. I'm fine."
Roll a d4 damage.
Cure wounds.
But yeah, so those were your thoughts, Wulfgang. Let's see how Bree felt as she joins your group late. She's like, "Oh, my head," and she relives her scene with Panthea. So you climb the stairs to Panthea's chambers, and she meets you with her groups, the people you know as the Shields, the people who are just entrusted to protect her. How do you feel surrounded by all these strangers? Well, they're not really strangers, but they're less talkative than the other keepers. So how do you feel?
Kind of nervous.
It shall be fine, Bree. It is good to meet you. Please sit.
It's good to meet you too.
You're very kind. Do you have any questions for me before you begin your journeys with us?
It's not really a question so much as I haven't, done much of this kind of stuff in my past life, and sometimes I worry that I'll fail at some point.
Failure is a part of life, my friend. I have failed many times myself, although it may seem a little strange coming from someone who runs an organization like this.
Right.
What matters most is that you act strongly and with courage.
Thank you for the advice.
And any other questions you'd like to ask that can be out of character if you want them to be?
I can't think of any other questions.
Then pick out a sick cloak, nerd. What color you want?
Do you have blue?
We got blue. They look inside the lower drawers for one that suits a halfling stature, and they find a nice royal blue.
Nice.
And
My
then
favorite color, blue.
the camera goes into those wavy lines, and then we're back speaking together with the friends, like in the dining room or wherever you're talking about your meeting with Panthea. What was your experience with her like, for anyone who wants to share?
Well, Wulfgang, you were expressing concerns as to whether or not she is, as Panthea, is truly secure. But I mean, you saw those guards she was with. I believe she'll be fine.
I mean, that is true, but who's to say that the previous matriarch was not surrounded by guards as well and somehow assassinated? I'm not saying she can't help herself. That's far beyond what I'm actually trying to prove here, but it's more so if a threat is still around, maybe we at some point can help deal with it ourselves. A showing of good faith, if you will, now that we've actually become members.
And what you would know is that generally Panthea keeps to herself most of the time. She'll associate with some of the keepers, very rarely the new recruits, except like for you guys who just got in. But she seems to lead a very solitary life and spend most of her time in Kindle Hall, which can seem kind of lonely. Otherwise, whenever she gives an order to most of the keepers, like, hey, we gotta do shit, she's like very commandeering, like she means business when she speaks.
I admit I do not envy her position, but I will gladly take up any quest or any need she brings to us. I would gladly serve. That's all I need in my life right now, is to help serve. I don't know about you folks.
As long as my belly's full of food and mead, and I have a place to do and some coin, I'm happy.
Yes, you are quite a simple man. I can respect that about you.
And if everyone's done talking about Panthea, then I think it's a good time to wander around Kindle Hall to do anything we need to do before we get to questing. So, we know that Kindle Hall's this pretty like large mansion sort of thing. Does anyone have anything they'd like to do while here? You can explore to your leisure.
Is it possible to stock up on provisions for any future journeys? Or would we even need to?
Your general provisions, they're kind of assumed that you wouldn't leave without them. So the watch provides those to you every time you set out.
Gotcha.
So this is like the day after you were officially there. Everyone had the big old feast to welcome in the new recruits, and now you just kind of you're chilling for a day at Kindle Hall to do what you want to do before you get down to business.
Can we speak with the Archmage and see if he's able to, or had any luck with the locket that was given to
I
him?
was definitely going to do that.
You may. Who would like to speak to Arnold in the mage chambers?
Wulfgang.
Oh, you know it.
All right. So Wulfgang and Agilbert. Is anyone else joining?
I'm sorry, what are you guys doing?
They are
We're
trying
going to go see the Archmage to see if you found anything about the magical properties of that locket we found.
I'll go with you guys as
It's
well.
a party.
So the three from the previous quest have gone up to the mage quarters and they knock on the door. Arnold answers with his happy hello, stroking his big old gray beard. Oh yes, how do you all do? It's good to see you.
Hello again.
And with those cloaks, you are truly keepers now.
Yes, it's quite an exciting time. I don't know if I want to ever take it off.
You notice that he's alone today in his quarters.
Oh, yes. Do you need any help with that locket or anything else, sir?
Curious about the locket. I've been investigating it when I have the free time, but haven't seemed to understand what the runes behind it seem to say. They are from the southern continents, and I am not very familiar with that. Neither is Giles in the library, but eventually I'm sure I can discern what type of magical properties this amulet has.
I mean, I could. I don't know if there's any extra reading. I could maybe possibly investigate into that, or I mean, maybe one day we will travel.
That would be splendid to travel. I have not done so for some time, and certainly not to the southern continents before. However, I don't believe now is the time. Although, if you would like to inspect the amulet after my inspections, you may.
Oh, almost definitely. May I please take a look, sir?
He just leads you into the room, and like under one of the a weird magnifying glass that's like on a pendulum sort of thing, like bent over the locket. There it is, the same locket that you had seen before. You may investigate it as you please.
Actually, I was gonna say, did you, or I should say, if I were to do an investigation, would they count as separate checks if I did maybe an investigation or an arcana roll?
Give me both and we'll see what happens.
All right. There's that, and there's that.
Ooh.
So, you distinctly know that, yes, like, something about what he's done to it has brought out more magical energy in this amulet. Like, you didn't really detect it before when you first found it, but after you found it, it was like, oh yeah, it's definitely magical. Now you know that if you had found it after he had performed his experiments on it, like, it's exuding magical energy and it's very strong. However, as you look it over, it looks like that amulet that you'd found. There's nothing strange about it, although you do notice that when you turn it around on, like, the backside and upside down, like tiny, tiny letters, like tiny fine print, you do see some very foreign text that you're not familiar with unless you can do a history check properly.
Oh, there is some script on the back of this, although, albeit it is quite minuscule. Actually, let me just take a closer look.
And you're completely aware that Arnold is right, and it's from the southern continent. You think it's Western script, but you're not 100% sure because you're not too familiar with that part of the world.
Ah, yes. Definitely southern continent scripture. I believe you said west?
Yes, you would know it's from the Tealeaf, which is a large desert region.
Ah, the Tealeaf, yes. Definitely... Although, I can't quite decrypt it myself. Do you see this Archmage?
Ah, yes, I did. Those are the lettering that I was mentioning. It is a very strange artifact. I'm not sure what it could be used for, but it is certainly magical.
And by this, can you, I don't know, discern how aged it has been? How long ago it would have been engraved in the locket?
Let's see if he figured that out or if he was even looking for that. Boop, boop, boop. Ah, yes. I am aware that this is about, I would gather 400 to 600 years old. It is a fine relic, but again, I don't know where it's from, and personally, I'm not too interested in it. I am more interested in what sort of magical enchantments lie within this amulet.
True, but I just wonder if the time period it's from, the people that it's from, if they would know more about unlocking its secrets.
Oh, I'm certain that the people in the Tealeaf would know much about this amulet, but the Tealeaf is thousands of miles away.
Again, a perfect opportunity at some point to travel and learn. I would be more than excited to try.
One of these days, when your journey with the watch is over, perhaps we can.
I suppose. Yes, and the rest of you, have you seen this?
Yeah, and you guys can look at it at your leisure.
I wanted to ask, since he's the Archmage, would he be able to cast any sort of, like, enchantments upon our armor / weapons equipment to benefit us on our next quest, or would those effects wear off by the time we get to that?
So you ask something to that effect of him, and he says, well, yes, I would love to perform those rituals upon various items that the keepers of the watch need. However, my laboratory is not suited for such dutiful enchantments. Doing that, especially to many separate items, would take much time and effort upon me, and I have many other tasks to do.
Of course.
If I had a more advanced laboratory, perhaps I could help you, but that would take a fair bit of gold to accomplish.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for your consideration.
Anything you want from Bree?
Sorry, I was closing my window.
Do as you please.
I was kind of going there just to observe, really, I guess.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So,
Okay.
if y'all have nothing else for Arnold, then I think it's time for you to leave. If that's true, which this is your question, is that true? You're leaving?
Lego.
Yes, I
Alright.
have nothing left to ask.
You bid adieu to Arnold and make your way back toward the rest of Kindle Hall. Daegon, what have you been doing on your day off?
I've mainly been sightseeing, and someone had caught my eye.
Who caught your eye?
Ooh.
I believe her name was.
Just spit it out, man.
Spread it out!
She cute.
What was her name?
Lena.
Who?
Hold on.
Who
One
this?
second. Let me get this.
Who this is? I don't know this person. I also didn't really hear all.
Who do you think
Who
you
did
are?
it?
I am.
I had wrote it down, but I don't know. Leah. There we
Oh,
go.
Leah. Leah,
Yeah.
you say. Hold
I-
the
I had-
phone.
I had I put it in the wrong character sheet.
That's fine. Let's see. Let's see if Leah's even here today, because she's busy. Nah, she ain't here, man. You look around, but Leah's not here today.
It's-
You go to her usual haunts, you ask several of the keepers, but she seems to be out on a mission today.
That's how it always is.
And since you're just sightseeing around, is there anywhere in particular you'd like to visit while you're at Kindle Hall?
Like, how big is the place? Is it like castle big?
Not
Or-
castle big. It's like large mansion with a giant wall around it big. The
Okay.
basic grounds of the place are there's a large wall surrounding a large, basically a giant house, about 3 stories tall, plenty of room to walk around. There's a archery range as well as a stable area. And beyond the wall, there is a pond to the north side of the building, which has a small shack nearby.
What's in the shack?
I mean, you can check if you want.
I would like to check.
Alright, so you spend the rest of your time while just wandering around, going outside the walls and heading to the north of the building. As you've seen many a time, there is a pond and also a small shack that is sitting near the pond. About maybe 40 feet away. You may approach it as you will.
I would like to approach it and open it if it is able, if it's not locked.
Alright, so you approach it. It looks like a shack. It has like straw rooftops, and the door is already like cracked open. And when you press upon the door, it just creaks open, just real nasty. It's an old house.
Is anyone in here?
As the light floods in while you open the door, you see that the room is completely empty. There's various just trash and junk and plates and forks all over the ground. There is a stove in the corner as well as a chest along the back wall.
I'm just going to leave.
Alright, 1 second. Make a perception test.
Where you at? Where'd you go? Where you at?
Oh, okay. So you stepped into the little cabin and you're just looking around at all the shit that's on the ground and you're like, whatever. And you take the door and you're like moving it open. And all of a sudden, there's a dude like right in front of you at the doorway. He sees you at the same time you see him and he freaks out. What do? He's just like, "Wah!"
Ah!
So you both freak
I thought
out.
no one was here.
You both freak out. He had something in his hands, and it just goes flying into the air and just lands all over. You notice that it is like a variety of vegetables.
Oh, sorry to startle you. I thought no one was here.
Oh, I didn't know anyone was here either. It's a kind of older man, and you've seen him a few times in the nearby town of Galena, which is a little bit to the south. So you don't know this dude, but you've seen him around. He seems to be one of the local townsfolk.
I was gonna say, like, is he a beggar or something like that?
No,
Or-
he looks like one of the local farmers. He seems to had lots of vegetables in his hand. They're all over the floor. He's like busily grabbing carrots, and there's some grapes
My
over there.
melons are cabbages.
My cabbages.
My cabbages.
It's like I help him.
All right,
You know, it's like,
yeah, you help him. What do you do while you help him?
why? Like, you look familiar. Why are you here?
Oh,
You're
hi.
supposed to be somewhere else.
I come here quite often. I quite like this shack. It is well, like is not the right word. I take a keen interest in it.
It's run down and dirty. What's so interesting about it?
Well, you haven't heard the rumors. I thought all the keepers were enthused by the little ghost stories around this little shack.
Ghost stores. I'm new here. I've only been here for a year, but that was for training. I've never heard any rumors about ghosts.
Oh, they say that the ghosts of the land have commandeered this little place, and on cold and lonely nights they will go across the fields and potentially ruin your crops if you're not too careful. So I like to leave some of my crops here, and it seems to keep whatever spirits live in this little shack happy.
That's a strange phenomenon.
It is quite strange, but I have noticed that sometimes I will return to the shack and my offerings are gone. So I suppose it's working.
Or someone's eating them.
I mean, or someone's eating them, yes.
But oh well. I don't know what to say to
Yeah.
that. It's like,
Yeah, if you don't got anything
yeah.
else to say, that's fine. You can just bid adieu.
well, good luck with your crops, and I just kind of leave awkwardly because I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, he thanks you for helping him grab his things and congratulates you on being a keeper. You start walking off, but do you look back at what he's doing?
I look at the pond for a while.
All right, so you don't watch what he's doing?
Nah.
Okay, so you take a minute to just sit on the hillside in the grass and look at the nice pond. What's everyone else doing on their day off inside Kindle Hall?
Drinking.
You gotta get all that drink in before the big quest starts. I get it.
Per usual, I'm with Bree drinking.
That's fair.
Making merry.
You see a variety of keepers who are all just doing the same as you. It's like, let's say it's around evening, so it's dinner time. Emma the cook is yelling at Josephine to hurry up and move the dishes from the kitchen to one of the tables. You see a halfling who's trying to clean up a mess, who a large dwarf is clearly, he's really upset that he made this mess and he's trying to help clean with her. It's just a busy time in the dining hall. Is there anyone you'd like to interact with, or would you like to look around for anything in particular?
I'd like to look around and see if the matriarch herself eats with the rest of the group.
You would know from your time here that occasionally she'll come by, maybe like once or twice a week. Whenever she does come by, it's quite like nice. Everyone's happy to see her. It's like, oh my God, Pantheus, we're surrounded by celebrity. But today is not one of those days. She doesn't seem to be here today. You think that, given the fact that you just had these big events, that maybe she's minding her own business somewhere else in Kindle Hall.
Yes. Oh.
Agilbert is heroic as fuck at the dinner table.
Sorry.
It's fine.
How'd you do that?
Would I be like walking in, or am I still?
I'll say like you're just staring blankly at the ocean blue, while these people see if they decide they want to do anything else.
Go ahead, ACS.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I cast heroism on Beckens so she can kick ass at a drinking contest.
Oh,
If y'all want to have a drinking contest,
Bree.
More
on.
drinking contest. It begins.
all right. Is who is drinking among your group against each other?
Well, certainly me. and I say I challenge Wulfgang and Bree.
You dare egg me on a drinking contest? This is not the sort of thing I do. You understand?
And now you all are discussing your drinking contest, and as you're like hollering back and forth across the table, 3 gold coins dart across the table right into the middle, and you see that they were thrown by a half-elf behind you. And she says, "Drinking contest? I'm quite interested in that." And she lays a violin on the table.
Oh, yes, you can take my place. I'm sorry. Your name?
I'm Zeri, and this is Kata. And before anyone like even sees it, there's this huge stomping right behind Wulfgang, and without even asking, a big old fat dwarf just sits right down next to you. It moves like the whole table when he sits. It's like, oh god, and he's like, oh, good ale, that's what I need.
Yes. Have mine. Agilbert, give. Yes, help my friend.
Oh, I don't need yours, my friend. He smacks you on the back real hard. Josephine, please get me a drink. Oh, yes. And she's just running quick because she wants to help him. He tosses down 3 gold coins in the middle of the table as well.
Oh, jeez, this is a lot of gold.
And remember, each of you got 50 gold from the past adventure. I think it was Blargh who like took something out of someone's pockets. Although I might be.
Oh,
wrong.
that's right. I do have 66 gold right now.
I have 71.
All right, maybe it was you. Someone took a little extra.
I didn't take anything. I don't remember taking anything.
Someone did. I forget who it was. Regardless, you have about 50 plus gold in your possession.
Yeah.
It's on.
All right, and real quick, Daegon, you stared at that beautiful pond. Did you want to join the others in the dining hall?
Yeah, I'll walk back in and see what's up.
Unless you have other shit to do. If you have other shit to do, we'll probably do the drinking first.
Besides looking at a mission board, if there is one.
You do see the mission board, and you're familiar with it. This is where everyone gets their quests whenever it's time, but you notice that most of the quests there are either addressed to someone else specifically or don't have any sort of offer. They're just kind of notices on the board. These are all in the main hall, which is right on the way to the dining room, so you can just walk right in if you want.
Okay. I'll look at what's going on.
And do you want to join their group, or are you going to watch from afar?
No, but I see everyone's betting, and I'm like, I can't waste any money on this.
And you will also have...
Even though it's a high risk, high reward.
Yeah, you also have, about 50 plus gold as well.
Alright, cool.
Because we're assuming that you also went on some sort of quest to get initiated into the watch, and you got a nice reward as a keeper would. So you also have some spending money if you want to.
Okay.
It depends on how antisocial do you want to be. Do you want to just hide in the corner and just watch, or do you want to sit down with your friends? And you would also be familiar with these people. You didn't go questing with them, but remember, you trained just like everyone else, and you'll know most of the new keepers.
Okay. Well, I just sit down next to them and just I watch them have fun because it's drinking is a sport, but they don't know how passive I am with money.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So
I'm not that big of a drinker. I just say that, and
so we have, I believe, 5 people in the drinking contest. It is Bree, Agilbert, Wulfgang, Zeri, and what the fuck is your name? He announced this quite proudly. The dwarf is named is my name is Kara Kurazov, the Brew Brace. It's good to meet you all.
Hi!
He's very exuberant. He's very excited to get started with the drinking game.
I don't know why you put me into this, Agilbert.
Don't worry, it's gonna be fun.
We will be having words over this.
I don't either, but I'm okay with it.
Say you're lightweight.
Is anyone tossing any money into the pot?
I'm tossing 3 gold.
I'll do it too.
Fine.
If you want to casually drink, no one's stopping you from casually drinking.
Was that wait? We got 2 bars and a what?
Wait, 2 bards.
Yeah, we have 2 bards. Bree and Agilbert are both bards, and Wulfgang is a wizard.
Okay, I'm not betting on anyone.
Ain't betting on shit. All right, so whoever is in the drinking contest, please make a Constitution check.
That is exactly why.
What is this again?
It should be
Oh.
on the first page.
On.
All right. First, we're going to do Katakurazar's roll first. That is not how you roll things. That is a 1d60. That is incorrect.
Don't worry, it's a dwarf.
Yeah, he's a dwarf. He doesn't even notice.
Shit.
And then we'll roll Zary's. Zary's. She's not looking too hot after her first drink. Bree, you're feeling it. You're feeling it pretty good. It's been 1 drink. You think you can do another?
No.
All right, so you drop out. That's how that goes. Whoever wants to continue, roll again.
I got this.
It wasn't the
Nope.
worst.
Oh no. Man,
Not
Wulfgang.
feeling it too well. So
Wulfgang knows how to do it.
If you're going to egg me on, you might as well bring a challenge.
And then, boop. Oh man, they brought the challenge. It looks like Katakurazar is a little not feeling too well. Maybe that was just not his favorite type of ale, but he's still in it to win it. And Zary doesn't seem bothered at all. As for Agilbert, you're kind of losing it now. Do you want to keep going?
Don't worry about it, guys. I got this.
Anyone who continues, continue.
No, I don't.
One more round can't
I'll
hurt
go
for
pass
my
out
money.
under the table.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't be over here.
Agilbert eventually cannot take it anymore and kind of slumps over on top of Bree, who is like kind of napping off to the side. As for Zary, she's getting pretty. It's catching up with her too. Let's see how Katakurazar does. Oh yeah. Katakurazar is like, oh, I've known when I've had my fill, and he finishes his last ale. And he is prepared to drop out, but he's still waiting to see what other people do. Wulfgang, you're getting pretty fucking drunk. What you gonna do? You gonna keep going?
Mistakes were made, but I won't give in.
All right. Zary also drops out. She's like, I know what you mean. I know you have had your fill. I'll take a breather from this one. And she starts playing her violin in a little fast pace for the final drink. So it is you and the dwarf.
Is good music for the final battle.
And what I want you to do, Constitution check with disadvantage. He will also take one at disadvantage because he's not feeling too hot either.
Oh.
So you both are like, it's like kind of like one of those movie scenes where it's like an eating contest and the camera's going back and forth between both people as they're going through the last drink. He finishes his drink, boom, slams it on the table, and you finish yours. What do you do when you finish your drink?
I'd slump back.
So you slump in your chair
That's all I can do.
and you're staring at him. He's staring at you. Buh! You win, my friend. Well done. And he pushes all the gold to you.
Thank you, not bad either.
And you won. Let's see. So that was everyone put in 3, and there were 5 people. Please do the math. That's 15 gold, right?
Yes.
Yep.
You got some 15 gold in your sweet little hands, your sweet drunk hands.
The more reading, yes.
Can I make the charisma throw to attempt to ask Wulfgang for my 3 gold back?
Sure. And make a constitution, or not a constitution, what would be a good counter for charisma?
Wisdom?
Disadvantage.
Intelligence or wisdom?
I'll let you do intelligence
You want me
or your constitution, whichever you choose.
Actually, did you want me to do like some sort of a perception throw?
Nope. I want you. He's trying to say, hey, I
Okay.
really need that gold, and you can try to resist if you want to. So you can do that with a
Okay.
constitution or with an intelligence check, your choice. But you will do so at
Alright.
disadvantage.
All right, so we'll do an intelligence check.
Okay.
He is
Boy.
not liberating that gold.
No,
Listen, I need it.
He knows exactly
Look,
what's happening.
Listen, Fred, it's cute that you want your 3 gold back, but you were the one who put me up to this. You gotta be a man,
Ooh.
I like
Or-
trains.
or at least the small child that you look like.
Damn. The Kata hears that across the table and just starts laughing.
You like that one too? Did you want a gold?
he tosses you another gold. Try to catch it with just a straight d20. Actually, roll 2 d20s. Yeah, it just slaps you in the face. But Cindy, you laugh now.
And I leave it. I don't even try to grab it and fall back and laugh. What's it? Oh.
And you all finish your goofy drinking game with some of the other keepers. Is there any last thing you would like to do while you're still at Kindle Hall? You can retcon this before you were super drunk.
I'm pretty sleepy now, so
I'm going to assist everyone,
All right, so
but
It-
it's like it's very rare.
Daegon,
See,
Daegon, can you carry me to my chambers?
yes. After that display, I'll help you out.
Thanks, buddy.
It is very rare to see a human, let alone a wizard, out drink a dwarf.
Just plus some
I can perform magic. Does it really blow your mind?
Save that for later.
Blow your mind later? No, no, that's not my thing, friend.
Save it for the enemies.
I'm blowing men's minds.
It's okay now. Go hush.
Okay.
Be quiet.
It's nice to drink with you. You should try it sometime.
So eventually,
Maybe later.
It takes a while, but Daegon eventually gets everyone who needs help up to the dorms, and everyone tucks in for sleep. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break and come right back in a minute, and you guys can start your big old journeys. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
Yeah.
go pee, do your stuff, and we'll be right back in a minute.
okay.